Hi, I'm Bybreen Samuels and welcome back to another episode of Soul Stirring Astrology, where I give you my textured take on the world of astrology. Well, tomorrow, that's Sunday, March the 12th, there's a full moon in Virgo, which means that the moon is in Virgo and the sun is in Pisces. Now, this full moon cycle is actually being underpinned by Pisces. There's a lot of Piscean energy surrounding it. The reason for this is because we have the sun, we have Mercury, we have Neptune and we have Chiron all in Pisces. And so the sense of the duality that's taking place, you've got the duality of the fish, but you've got the duality of the signs, Pisces and Virgo. So with Pisces, there's a sense of illumination, intuition, dreaming and reaching and escaping from the everyday realities. And then there's Virgo on the other hand that says, well, there are everyday realities that you can't escape, and it's about being critical and discerning and being responsible and being quite straight-laced. And so the opposition that takes place between the Sun, Mercury, Neptune and Chiron versus the Moon is really pulling you, and it's pulling you towards this sense of how and where do you live a sort of borderless and boundaryless life? Because when we're dealing and we're swimming in Piscean waters, we're dealing with the collective conscious, and we're dealing with humanity and the expectations of humanity, and how, because we've got these planets showing up in Pisces, it's about how attuned are you in terms of other people's points of view. Now we've got Mercury in Pisces, and so Mercury here is about the ability to tune into the zeitgeist and pick up on what's floating to the top, and then being able to articulate other people's points of view. So you could be, the communicator. So it's about how do you stand in a position of leadership to communicate what is unspoken, but bringing it into consciousness. Now, we've got Mercury, and Mercury is alongside Chiron, and so Chiron is about the sensitivities, and here it could be about wounded thinking. Where have you been beating yourself up with negative talk and going over and repeating old patterns or histories or conversations that you've had before in the past? But instead of articulating them and clearing the air, what you're doing is you're having this internal dialogue that is continuously on repeat. And given that we've got Mercury in Pisces, which is in a weak position because it's opposing Virgo, one of the signs it rules, and so there's a sense of the inner critic really running rampant in your life. Now, sticking with Pisces, as I said, it's this sense of the collective and where there's a boundarylessness or a borderlessness to your life. And I want to bring in the Roman myth of Pliny. Now, Pliny was this young orphan boy that every day would go out and he would feed this particular dolphin, and then would ride on the dolphin's back. And so one day the boy didn't show up, and the dolphin went looking for him, and he found the boy had sadly drowned. And he brought the boy back onto the shore and lay down next to him until he died himself. And so where you have this sense of Pisces, we're dealing with death, we're dealing with the afterlife, and we're also dealing with the fact that you're unable to see yourself different from anyone or anything else. And so the way that I kind of live this in my life is I'm a vegan. So as a vegan, clearly I'm somebody who has a love for animals and sees them as having a right to walk the face of the earth or swim in our wonderful oceans. They have a right to be and a right to exist. So where we have this sense of Pisces showing us how we can be more humane, how we can be more compassionate and more sensitive, where in your life could you be demonstrating this? Now, squaring all of this Piscean energy, we have the sun there, and obviously the sun is conjuncting Mercury, so there's a sense of, what you say, you want to be recognised as an authority in some sense, but we're dealing with the watery sign, so it's in its weakest place. So what can happen is that you move beyond this strong ego identity and you're kind of tapping into your feelings. And one of the things that Jung said was that, when we're dealing with the collective unconscious, it's about the opportunity to tap into our creative unconscious. And the reason for this is because if we want to bring our spirit alive and our soul alive, we've got to give it a rest. And the way in which we can give our spirit and soul a rest so that they can be replenished and refreshed is to tap into the creative endeavours in life. And so where you have the Sun and Mercury, although you want to be seen as this authority, there is a sense that you can't quite articulate in a logical, sequential way what it is that you see as your identity or you're feeling about. And so therefore, by moving into the creative endeavours, you have another outlet that enables you to communicate back to the world. So for example, if we take the famous jazz singer, Billie Holiday, there was turbulence in her private life and there was turbulence in the song choices and the lyrics. And so here was somebody who was battling with the shadow within her life, but was able to convey this through song and then touch millions of people around the world. And so where we have this strong Piscean energy, which is a bit dreamlike, which is a bit being artistic and creative and escaping from the pain of the world. Now that we have this opposition, it's about dealing with that pain of the world, finding how you align with others, people or animals within the world, or just, a polar dimension to your world. How do you align with it and be true to it and being able to pick up what is resonating in the world, what's resonating, so that you're able to tune in and then communicate that. Now we've got, as I said, this square going on, and the square really is between Pisces and Sagittarius. And in Sagittarius we have Saturn. Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. So Jupiter and Saturn here is about, enough of the sort of dream world. How are you going to turn your dreams into reality? How are you going to be grounded? How are you going to be responsible? How are you able to filter through the unconscious, pick up on what's really important, apply that to your life in a meaningful way that grounds you? Now the square between Pisces and Sagittarius is also being supported because Mars has just moved into Taurus. And so here Mars is in quite a weak position because it opposes Scorpio, one of the signs that it rules. However, Mars in Taurus is about grounding, is about this strong desire to go out into the world and to concretize, build something, create something that's going to be of value. And because we're dealing with Taurus, it could be financial value, or it could be about security in the world, something that's tangible, meaningful, that actually forms and creates a foundation for your life. And so it's a time whereby the dreams that you have, grounding those dreams and moving them into reality. Alongside this, we've got Chiron. And so Chiron is, on one level, the wounded healer. And so if you've got this negative self-talk going on, you are then unable to manifest the dream in a way that's going to liberate you, in a way that's going to be meaningful to you. And with all the configurations that are taking place with this full moon, it's about really aligning yourself to what your soul is whispering to you. Knocking at your internal door, wanting you to open the door, not being frightened. And there's no need, because if you've been building up on in terms of your own personal philosophy over at least the last year, and since Saturn has been in Sagittarius, then there should be a sense of confidence and groundedness so that you're not being blown away by the breezes and the sort of wateriness of Pisces. But you're blending the sense of sensitivity, compassion, picking up on the nuances within the environment and stripping away and peeling away your own internal layers. So you're getting to the essence of who you are. So this full moon is as I say, in Virgo, but it's a really, it's a textured one because you've got water but yet you need form, and it's about bringing the two together. So with Pisces being water and Virgo being earth, how do you mix them together where you're not swimming in quicksand, but you're able to build a firm foundation that is in true alignment with who you are? And don't forget, there's Venus, and Venus is retrograde, and it's retrograding through Aries. And here again, it's about what is your truth? What do you value? And so as you're working through this boundaryless life, as well as having a sense of where you're putting a stake in the ground, as well as blending all of this, you know, it's about blending in the sea of life and coming up with what truly aligns with you. So that's it for this week. And it brings me to the quote of the day, which is by Jonathan Ames. And what he said is that I love being in a sense of coincidences, because coincidences gives me the glimpse of hope, and the hope that could actually lead me to my destiny. And if I'm led to my destiny, all of the answers I've been looking for will show up. And so, which brings me to the question of the day. And the question of the day is this: what are you doing to make room for coincidences to show up in your life? So, as always, I love jamming with you. Put your comments and your answers in the comment box below. Feel free to share this episode with anyone in your network, and you can upload it to your personal inventory. And please like and subscribe to my channel. So until then, start swimming in these Piscean waters. Tomorrow is this very powerful full moon in Virgo that really is wanting you to take those dreams and ground them in reality that aligns with the deep desires from your soul. So until then, I will see you again on the next episode. Until then, bye bye.